we're going to keep it simple here for the home opener on Nunnsense, and that's going to be one of my favorites, beer and brats. Listen, I've been to some football games where there have been amazing Philly cheesesteaks. Guess who we were playing? I've been to where they put cinnamon in their chili. Guess who we were playing? And I've also had kind of like SoCal tacos made with mahi, also known as, guess who we were playing? But these are going to be something simple, and I think they fit any home game, and that's the beer and brat. I like the beer, and the brat makes a nice addition to it, and that's where we're going to start before we get into the Nunnsense part of that, and that's bringing more flavor to the toppings, the pepper and onion. So come over here to the hot side, and let's get ready. I'm going to pop in some beer, ready for the sizzle. Yeah, and your favorite beer. It can be a dark beer, it can be a light beer, it can be 1 or 2 beers, depends on how many brats you're going to have. And in this case, we're just going with simple bratwurst. If you like the knotwurst, if you like the kielbasa, all of those different types of sausages, or like the Azars, those spicy sausages, all of those apply. And what you're doing here is a simple parboil. We're going to cook them through, so that means that when your guests are eating them later, you're pretty much assured that you've got them done all the way. All right, we're gonna start these and we're gonna let them bubble. You can do this in a crock pot, let them go the night before, and that way you have something that's already done so you can transport it and you're just putting the finishing touches on it. And among the finishing touches is this. Of course, it's the peppers and the onions. It goes along with the sausage. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a salt method on these, and what that does is even without cooking, it starts to break down the cellulose tissue. And it's going to draw out some water, and we're going to do it in, a colander, in a bowl. So we're gonna slice these up, put the salt on it, and that is going to be your basic sodium chloride. It can be the stuff out of the tube, or it can be the stuff out of the box. I prefer the stuff out of the box, the broader kosher salt, so it doesn't stick to your fingers. So let me show you what's gonna happen, even in the short term here. And if you do it overnight, the results gets better. And why? You get rid of some of the water, so when you're putting them in the skillet or whatever you're going to be heating these on afterward, you're going to get more caramelization. More caramelization, that's more flavor, and that's Nunnsense. All right, on an onion, to make it to where you're going to weep a little bit less, if you cut it pole to pole, so basically where the frond would grow and the root would grow, you break less cellulose tissue versus cutting it in the long ways, and you can actually save yourself a tear or two. So we're going to go pole to pole, and if you notice, I'm rotating the knife along with the curve of the onion. Next are the peppers. Pull away the pith. The pith is going to hold a lot of water, and it's just going to make more liquid in the bottom of your jar here, so get rid of as much of that stuff as you can. And then these you can cut any way you want. Cut them long ways so you get a little bit more of a texture, or more of a surface area. Looks pretty on the eye. All right, so we're gonna put those in. Next comes the salt. And you would say how much? And I would say a liberal amount. You really wanna get them coated. We're gonna toss it. You wanna see little flakes of salt on everything. I think we're almost there. I'm just gonna do it one more time. And we're gonna let these set. And I bet in the next maybe 10, 15 minutes at most, we're going to have some liquid at the bottom of the pan. So that is what we have here in the bottom of this, is we're going to have liquid. So what we're gonna do, after you've let these sit in the refrigerator and continue to weep, and that's what the salt will allow, put a paper towel in the bottom and watch this. Look at how much liquid comes out. And that is just from cutting it, salting it, and letting it sit. Getting rid of that liquid means more flavor in your peppers and onions. Gonna go right in with our salt, with our peppers, and notice how little liquid here, and that's going to be a key to getting all of these toasty, caramelly brown, and really bring that next flavor here to the bratwurst. And you can tell by the colors here, that would be so unappetizing on any kind of bun. But in just a couple of minutes, we're gonna put it over the heat next to these peppers, bring a little char to it, add some color, and those, my friends, are done. So we'll kill the heat on that, and we'll let them baste in the goodness that is beer. All right, right now the brats are ugly. They're just gray, but they're cooked, and that's gonna be great for all the folks that are at your tailgate. And look at this scrumptious goodness here. I'm sure you've had some sort of dehydrated fruit or vegetable in the past, and you take a bite out of a dehydrated apple and you're like, holy cow, that is really appley. That's what we've done here. We've made the onions more oniony. We've made the peppers more peppery. And that just means we've gotten rid of the liquid. We're bringing out the sugars. We're bringing out everything that gives the caramelization and the flavors to those. And what you're seeing at the bottom of the pan, it's still dry. And that's part of the salting. And here, our little vegetable rainforest continues, drip, drip, drip. Look at all that. So in 20 minutes, that's what's come out of it. If you slice it the night before, salt it, put it in a colander with a pan and put it in the refrigerator, even more liquid will come out and you're gonna get more caramelization, but that's what happens in the short term. So let's bring these things out here. Hello, Brody. And get these. Oh, that's what you wanna hear. Almost a little, hear that? It's like a high-pitched week. That is the liquid hitting those hot tines and literally dancing right across the top. All right, let's put some color on the brats. That's what I'm talking about. There's your sausage dogs. Come on now. Sausage dogs. It could not be much simpler. You need some time and you need some salt. And the result, even in the short term, look at all of that. Not that that's not flavorful liquid, but if that's what your peppers and onions were cooking in, by the time it goes to your buns, you end up with soggy buns. This time, you have basically charred, dehydrated, full flavor peppers and onions without all the sogginess. The cheese does a nice job, if you like cheese, of enveloping everything. And then you have the brats that are still moist because they've been cooked in your favorite beer and then grilled for a short period of time, and they're ready to eat. I mean, you can take these to the tailgate that are already cooked. Cook them in the crock pot the night before, secure the lid. By the time you get to the tailgate, all you're doing is grilling up some pepper and onions, which will bring the crowd just in that smell alone. And then you throw the dogs on it, and that's the way it looks. A little bit of thyme, a little bit of salt, that is a lot of goodness. And right there, that's not nonsense, that's Nunnsense.
Turn up for the